Oh yeah, I've completely forgotten about the, this shoe is like, let's be honest, no one's ever going to buy that stuff, but hey, what up and welcome to another episode of Creased Heat, and on today's episode we're going to be talking about a mid-year list and what we think potentially could end up on the end-of-year list and things like that. But before we go into today's episode, let's do a bit of shopping. Alright, let's see what's out and about. I haven't been shopping in a minute. I don't think there's anything really that's dropped, but let's go see. Few things that I didn't expect, I'm going to be honest. Those Air Max 90s, the green with the crumbly sort of material, I don't know. They were sick, but let's keep going. The ASICS at JD, crazy. They're doing crazy exclusives. They feel like one that would sell out and resell, but yeah, they were sick. Yeah, let's keep going, see what else is out there before we get into today's video.
3 days later.
I'm going to be honest, some of these Quantums that are rocking up at JD Sports, these colorways are absolutely incredible. They're doing a lot of exclusives and I'm all for it. There's actually a Kayano that's dropping right now. I liked the Kayano 20 when they originally came out. The thing was with me and with them back in the day was like, they were specifically for people that overpronated, right? So I would wear the Nimbus because I supernated. Now they're just a casual looking shoe. So I can wear whatever I want. Yeah, like I'm more impressed by what ASICS is doing lately than what Nike is doing. I feel like Nike might be like stumbling a little bit. Like everyone's talking about sneakers are dead and everything like that, but if quality stuff is coming out, these conversations don't start happening. They just announced some fashion show lot where they're bringing out and there's stuff that no one would ever wear, but they've put the time in to do this for Fashion Week, to make it look crazy and everything like that. Like, no one's ever going to buy that shit. Let's be honest, no one's ever going to buy that stuff. But tell you what they will probably buy, maybe not, because Jordan 1s aren't really selling like that. That Jordan 1 right there, absolutely incredible. I don't know, it comes out in a few days, but I'm going to be honest, like, it's really good, but I know there's like a random text on the inside and everything like that, and let's be honest, it feels like some live, laugh, love type shit. So, remember that Be-Do win? That was when Nike was trying to do their artsy shit, and it didn't do well. One pair that I was impressed by was the J5 UNC, and I'm not a big fives guy, I'm not a big black sneaker guy, but these were really nice quality, and I was super impressed by them. I know a lot of people have copped them. Definitely get in amongst them because they're crispy. You may see my lovely Palace hat. It was the only thing I was able to cop on the drop because that's new, maybe. Nope, nothing. Well, absolute dog shit. Somehow, someone's just like, what? Someone's left the MIB trilogy. I've got too many DVDs that I don't watch already. And obviously that's somebody's stuff, but that's random. Yeah, absolutely nothing. When I Google the normal type jersey with the pallets across, comes up with Ultra Sport, but it says it's out of stock. On their website it says coming soon. When you click on it, I have a feeling it's already gone. We got end at 5 and then that's about it. So as much as sneakers aren't doing much, the bots came out in force for that drop, and I think I'm just going to have to fly to Thailand and get a fake version of that St. George jersey. But let's get into today's episode, because I'm hearing people talk about the brick after brick is already being labelled as the sneaker of the year, just like the brick by brick was last year. For me, I feel like they're a very nice quality shoe, but a shoe being predominantly red doesn't really do anything for me. Like, Red Octobers are such a crazy shoe in the universe of sneakerheads. For me, I wouldn't be caught dead wearing them. I'm not trying to click my heels and go home, you know what I mean? But brick by brick's a little bit better. It breaks it up with the midsole, everything like that. Nigel's a really nice guy.
It's your mum?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Shout out to the mums.
Who's been in and around the sneaker community for a long time, so I see it. This shoe is like, let's be honest, it's like an aged fire red. And we haven't had a fire red since 2020. Are these better than a fire red? I don't think so. I honestly wish for Nigel that they do something with the 5.0 branding, because that was essentially what BMX was when you had Nike SB for skateboarding. But in terms of what they're talking about, like, I've heard people mention the Jordan 1 XVAA, the Virgil Archives, but it's going to sound weird because I've definitely had retros in my end of year list, but I would not have like that on a list. It's a nice shoe, it's a work of art, but we've done that. Feels weird to say because, like, I've definitely had retros on my list before, plenty of times. But when you're getting, say, a retro, there's always a pointed difference with it, right? So, like, the Bread Reimagines were like leather instead of the nubuck. Military Blues, like when they started bringing this shape in, something different, your toe isn't hurting. It's not quite what we're used to. It's not quite a one-to-one retro. I don't know, but the other thing I was thinking about too, when I'm starting to see, because this happens every year this time of year, and I don't usually do this, I'm also comment on it when it happens, but the mid-year list is such a weird thing because we kind of know what's coming out for the most part, we know what's happened. The only thing that's missing is the impact, right? But if I'm being really 100% honest, I cannot tell you for the life of me what stands out. I felt like this a little bit last year, but I think even more so this year. The only thing I hear people talking about in terms of that is the brick after brick, is the VAA off, let's call it what it is. It's an off-white Jordan 1. Outside of that, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, what pairs would you put up against that? I feel like if there is some, like, ASICS heads, there'd be some crazy collab, same with New Balance, everything like this, but for me, when these lists come about, especially at the end of the year, and more so in the last few years, you can definitely see a few pairs that you're talking about this time of year. I'm not really seeing that right now. For me, I feel like the band Low, I think they did really nice, original type shape, really nice quality leather. Love the touches on the box, the shoe, everything like that. But even that technically is a retro. The things that have impressed me this year have been so left of field. Like the Adidas Bounce F50 Kith Messy shoe. Like that joint is incredible. There's a colorway very similar to this that doesn't have the Kith and Messy branding. And I think it was on special recently. I still didn't pull the trigger. So it was 300, it's come down to 240. It did come down to 180, and I definitely considered it, and I may have, like, forgot. Let's be honest, I forgot. I got a lot going on at the moment. Between this channel, the other channel, life, and a bunch of other stuff I'm in the works with. We did hint at at some clothing and or merch or whatever, and I haven't forgot. It's just, I want to do that right? But the Megarides, the F50 Megarides, whether it be the Kith collab or the ones without, like, absolutely incredible. I remember back in my day they were called A3s, right? I had the A3s, I love the A3s. I'm still waiting for the silver and blue joints. If they come back out, I'm getting them 100%. But these here, and they've even done like more natural type colorways too, and like curved the bounce stuff, the Megaride, I don't know. But they've been incredible. Some of the Quantums, like even some of the Quantums we saw earlier in this episode, incredible. We talked about not having retros on a list, and this definitely shouldn't be on a list, but considering they came out last year as well, they definitely shouldn't be on the list, but they might be on my personal list at the end of the year, so spoiler. We mentioned ASICS as well, like killing it with the Quantums, the Kayano 20s, the different colorways they're doing with that. But even like the Earls collab. The first one I wasn't a fan of. The second one, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I actually stumbled into the Earls store while I was doing some other stuff, like going to warehouse sales in that episode. And the store, like, incredible. People there were cool as. Shoe, really nice. I'd already bought about 3 pairs that day, so maybe I need to double back on that one. But if we're talking about, like, my potential list, like, this isn't going to be on everyone's. But there's a blue and white TN7 coming out that's already out in Europe that should be released right now so they can capitalize on it with their current NRL season for the Bulldogs. What are you doing? Foot Locker, come on, bro. The other one I would say is the TN7 Scorpion. This, honestly, just proves the amount of innovation, like within print and everything like that, that the TN has always done. Like the fades and the different patterns have always done. But this here is like such a crisp print. I'm not a technical guy when it comes to this type of stuff. I'm just a passionate sneaker fan. And I'm going to need them joints. It's crazy that we talked about this maybe even a couple of years ago, that people were going towards more comfort. I find myself wearing sneakers now every day. Switched up what I'm doing within my life, and I get to wear sneakers every day. I do put on my Jordans. I do put on stuff like that. You know what's the most comfortable stuff I got? My Air Max and my ASICS. That's what I'm wearing every day because I'm wearing them every day. When it was different, when, you know, didn't have much time to be doing much, and I'm just putting on my nice Jordans, the flexes. I go down to shops, get a couple little flicks. A little bit different, but I feel like we've lost the plot here. We're rambling. In terms of things that are coming out later this year, and what potentially could be on the list at the end of the year, the one that really stands out for me is the Jordan 4 London. I just feel like that colorway, the quality of that, just in photos, looks absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Maybe there is just so many good sneakers coming out that nothing really stands out. Because even like the Kobe Air Force Ones in that green colorway, brother, that has got me looking at Air Force Ones again in a whole different way. Like, I've always got a couple of Air Force Ones on deck. I even have a signed pair from Nelly. I'll be stomping in my Air Force Ones, son. But them joints right there. My God. What they're doing with the Kobe joints, like there's been a few colorways and you're like, them green ones, crazy. Even the True Blue 3s come out this month, right? They look very, very similar to the Wizards 3. For whatever reason, they just don't give off a True Blue feel. True Blue 3s have been like a shoe that has evaded me for years. They're finally going to be available. I know I'm going to be able to get as many pairs as I want. But for whatever reason, the images aren't really selling me. But if it just means that they took them with some potatoes and maybe they're renders and not real images and everything like this that I'm seeing, when I finally get them in hand, they could be on my list. I'm going to be honest. Let me know in the comments, like, what is your standout sneaker for the year so far in 2026? I'm looking around at like my purchases and that, and I don't think that I've bought that many this year. Did they come out this year, the military blue? Or last year? I think they came out last year. The neons came out this year. Band joints came out this year. Incredible. Oh yeah, I've completely forgotten about the reimagined sixes. What am I doing? A lot of debate on these, honestly. Like, I was just stoked to be able to get some infrared sixes after all these years, but a lot of debate about these. Like, OGs weren't happy with the changes. For me, I love a good story. The box was interesting, all the sample stuff that come along with it. But yeah, like, that's completely gone off the radar. When it was happening, there was so much talk, good and bad, about it, but nothing. Yeah, I honestly feel like, and I've only come to this conclusion midway through this ramble, I feel like we've had so many good sneakers that nothing really stands out. It's not like you're getting a sea of the same old stuff and then out of nowhere there's something that just goes, bam, you ain't seen this before. I don't know. I mean, we're living in a time where, like, you remember the protection pack when it first came out? That was like reselling for crazy amounts. Now you can get the protection pack for $165. These sales coming up are going to be crazy, man. Like that shoe that I'm looking at, if they drop down to like, I was going to buy them at 180. If they drop down to like 160, 150, they're definitely coming home. Just like the World Cup is, you know what I'm saying? But this has been another episode of Creased Heat. Yes, we took a week off. We almost took this week off. My camera was playing, well, my camera wasn't playing up. I left it without charge. I broke my light. And then, even when I bought a brand new light, the same one, it was playing up. So, but we're back. We are here. Every week, for the most part, we'll be here. I've got something that I'm planning to. I want to be doing something a little bit different. Maybe on the IGs. Something I've been thinking about for a minute. I want to do like a podcast type thing, but I'm also way too lazy to do like well, not lazy, I just don't have enough time. I want to do some like interviews with people and that I've come across and sneaker collectors and everything like that. We're not reinventing the wheel or anything, but it's just something I haven't seen for a while, and I feel like doing it myself now that I've got a little bit more free time in my life. So maybe, just maybe, we start doing some lives and everything on Instagram where we have a special guest and we do all that. But got a few things in the pipeline, some exciting things in the pipeline. I just can't say everything right now. But for now, this has been another episode of Creased Heat. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll be back every week with brand new content here and on the other channel. Make sure you check that out. That's flying at the moment, but yeah, until next week. Bye. I think I just cut that short, but peace. I've bought the exact same light that I broke, but this must be the newer model because now it's charging. I've plugged it into my portable charger like I always do. Just says charging. Already tried to film this video the night before, but you know, this lighting isn't great. And when I went to do it, the camera wasn't charged either, so. I gotta be honest, some of these Quantums that are rocking up at ASICS are incredible. Like, I gotta be honest. Someone's just left a detailing thing on my car. They get fucked. The only time I ever actually detail my car, I just park it into the shopping centre, give them $50 and they do that. But they're doing a lot of on up there. It's like a Kayano 20. I completely forgot about this. Kayano 20 with like a lime midsole, and it looks incredible, honestly. Latest. Or whatever they've done there. I don't know. I'm not a... Smack my camera around. Psh, psh. I thought they were dropping. I can't see them. Outtakes. What? Seriously, if you got an XL in that St. George jersey and you're not taxing, like, I won't pay resale for sneakers, but that jersey I'll pay up to $150 for, because honestly I feel like it's worth $150. $80 was a real cheap price point. And I've said it already, if England win the World Cup, they need to re-release the entire Palace pack as like a pre-order like the Knicks did for the threes and all that. You hear me, Nike? Let's go.